Well, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. I said y'all. I mean you all. Welcome back to JJ's PC Builds. This is JJ with you once again. I want to have a little bit of a discussion with you all. I understand there's some drama going on between Gamers Nexus and Linus Tech Tips. So understand this. That's going to be their own little battle. Okay. And I'm sure in time they'll work things out. But that's not what we're going to be talking about. Okay. Now, the whole ball of wax is this. Okay. I've noticed that people say, well, you do this and you do that, but, it's not showing us anything. Okay, so what I'm going to decide to do is when I go to test a PC that I've built, I'm going to make sure I plug that into a capture card, which plugs into my main PC, which will be doing all the editing and everything else. So that way, just the way I do this, and if I tell you all I'm going to go to the action screen and I'm going to take you all along with me, it's just going to be like this right here. So you know that I'm taking you with me along for the ride. Okay. I know this big word transparency is big for everybody right now, and I don't blame you, because the thing is this. I want to keep this channel as transparent as we can. As far as us doing our testing and everything else, I want to try to keep it as transparent as possible. So if I'm going to be testing a PC, I'm going to record it and I'm going to take you all along with me. So that's the whole reason that I was thinking of a capture card, so that way I can plug it into my system. So any system that I work on will plug into the capture card, and I can put it up on the screen so y'all can see it and record it just like that, so it doesn't take away from that performance. Now, when I record and do the testing at the same time, it takes a little bit of a performance hit from the system, so everybody asked me, well, how come your numbers are lower than somebody else's? Well, the reason is I don't have a capture card and I'm using OBS Studios. So the thing is, you take a performance hit a little bit by using that. So, and make sure you get your drink and snacks with you. I just want to bring that really clear. So there are many times that I've done videos that you all seen. I've taken you all along with me through the testing. I know there's some people that had their naysays and everything else, but I made sure I was very clear on the reason why I was testing it. And everybody left their comments, and I made sure that I commented back and put my reasons why, and everybody understood, and life just goes on. Okay, now commentary. Now let's stick with the testing, and then we'll go on. Any testing I do on a system those are the numbers that you all see on that system. Okay, when I put it up on the screen and do it live for you, recording live, but you see the numbers yourself. So you can see the testing going forward. Now, the thing is this, when people do tests and they just show you stats, that's like going to a football game and showing somebody the stats and for you to really understand what's going on. Okay, that's not testing. That's basically telling everybody, I did this test, and this is my results, but you don't get to see the test. That's not transparent. Okay? That is not transparent at all. So I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's go back to the action screen, and this is going to be an example. Now, let's say I want to do heaven benchmark, right? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with heaven benchmark. I'm going to make a custom, DirectX 11, quality ultra, tessellation off, stereo 3D off, multi-monitor off, anti-analyzing off, full screen off. It's 800 by 600. And we hit run. So now what I'm waiting for it to do is for it to go through. Okay, and now we bring it up to your screen. Now, that's it. And if I hit F11, that brings up the testing numbers, and this is real deal numbers. And my computer's only running at 125 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm not worried about the temperatures. And the graphics card's only running at 95, 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry, I don't believe in doing Celsius. That's just too confusing to me. So if y'all want to look it up, Google it. So I'll do the Fahrenheit. And that's what you see right there. 104, 106 degrees Fahrenheit on the GPU. CPU, 125. Graphics card under megahertz. Boosted clock. 2820 megahertz. Not overclocked yet. It's not overclocked. It's running at 100%. So, but it's only using 100 watts of power. And it's only using 1.1 volt on the processor. So now, CPU is only running, or the GPU is only running 46%, by the way. The CPU is running at 127. It's running at 11%. It's running at 4650 megahertz. And the wattage is 45, 47 watts. And the DirectX 3D 11 is running between drop down to 430 to 485. 430 to 485. Okay. So the milliseconds, it's running in between 1 and 2 milliseconds. So that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it right there in a nutshell. Okay, there's nothing else that I would else hide from you instead of showing you this test. Look, it boosted up to 600. And that's off of Heaven Benchmark. That's only DX11. That's not DX12. Okay, got to understand that too. So, but looking at it, it's still running the way I have it set up in the first place. It's running fine. And I'm happy with my computer. I'm happy that I got the components. Okay, that's the point I'm making. Okay, now, when you're running benchmarks and stuff like that, I understand you don't want all that stuff in the background running when you're running these tests. You know, I understand you don't want to be running, you don't want everybody to watch you run the test from A to Z. Okay? Well, I hate to tell you this. With us here on JJ's PC Builds, we're running the test from A to Z, and you're going to see it regardless. So if my video is 20 minutes or it's 1 hour, it's still going to be ran that way. Now, the last two videos that I put out, part 1 and part 2, I broke it up because it was a little bit too long. So I made one 20-minute video and one 40-minute video. So this way, I could have broke it up into 3 20-minute videos. I could have done that, but I figured a part 1 and a part 2 was fine. Because there's going to be the build right after that. After part 1, part 2, there's a build coming up. Just to let you know that. And as you can see, I'm not really talking about what they're going on, what's happening in the gaming community right now with between Linus Tech Tips, Gamers Nexus, and, Hardware Unboxed, I heard was in there too. We're not talking about that. It's because that's a waste of y'all's time. I said y'all, you all's time. I know that don't sound right neither. Your time. It's not a waste of your time. How about that? So that's the reason why we're having this little discussion here, is because I don't want this to be a waste of your time. And I want you to understand my methods of testing is my methods. It's not nobody else's methods. Okay? Their way of testing is their way of testing. Everybody has their own way of testing products. Okay? Now, that's just testing products. I have my own way of testing products, just like the other reviewers have their own way of testing products, and they do it their own way because that's their channel. And the way I test my products are right here for you all to see. But the thing is this, I'm testing it in front of you. And I do apologize about the last video because of the lighting and everything else. I'm working on the lighting. Trust me, I'm working on the lighting. Don't beat me up so quick about it. So, I've been in this game 35 years. I've been on YouTube doing YouTube videos almost 1 year. Okay. I'm not new to the game. I've heard people talk so much crap about other people and this and that and created all a bunch of drama. It's just because, they want to be in the spotlight. Okay, you got to understand something too. When somebody's big and they don't want to give up that spotlight for other small people to get in there, they're going to step on your neck, and they're going to figure out how. I've had people doing that to me for years. Step on my neck. I help them out. Step on my neck. I help them out. Step on my neck. I've had that so many times for so many years. You get tired of it after a while. And it's time for it. This is time for my shine. I'm half a century years old. Okay. I'm making my stand now while I can still put my hand out there and say, look, this is what I got to offer. So, I hope you all understand that, back years ago, it used to be a lot different than this. Okay? When it comes to the PC world, oh my goodness. There's some that started in the 90s. Okay? I started in the early 80s. Okay, PCs were coming out in the early 80s. They say, oh yeah, when the internet came out, so did PCs and this and that. No, they didn't. PCs have been out since the 50s. Around 1953 or something like that. Close to it. But actual PCs that are not like today's PCs, they're like the yesterdays. They're like the dinosaur PCs. The ones where they had like the DIMM slot was 72 pin. A 72 pin DIMM slot, not a 244 or 240 or whatever. Okay, a 72 pin DIMM slot. A PC that was called x86 when they first come out, x86, and then you had your x186, you had your x286, you had your 286SX, you had your 286DX, you had your 386SX, your 386DX, and you're just your 386, your 286, your 486SX, your 486DX. You had your 486. Should I go on? And then they went to the 586. You know, as it went up in, you know, and the thing is when back then, not a lot of people were talking about graphics cards. Not a lot of people were talking about graphics cards. It was basically based upon RAM. How much RAM you had. That's all everybody talked about. How much RAM you got? Yeah. You'll be lucky if you got 6 bytes on one computer, and that's what sucked. Especially if you only had like 6 bytes of RAM. I've had a computer that only had 6 bytes of RAM. So, and now I got 64 gigs of RAM. Working my way up. You know, doing the thing. So, but look, when it comes to everybody's testing, right? Everybody has their own special way. And I want you to understand that and listen to me very carefully. Everybody has their own special way of testing. They do it in their own way. So when it comes to computers and their parts, people test in their own direction. They don't test the way everybody else has to be. Okay? That's the whole thing. When it comes to testing your PC, you test it the way you want to test it. You don't test it because this person's doing it this way, this person's doing it this way, or so on and so forth. And don't be mad at me for saying this, because it is true. If I were to test the same way as the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy, you know what would happen with all the subscribers and everything else? They wouldn't stay on the channel that long. They'd say, bye. You know, y'all are testing the same way. It's boring. Bye. And that's pretty much how you know, some of the reasons that, you know, I was hearing of what's going on was kind of like that. But there is kind of a little bit more reason to that. Okay, now, when I test here, I try to be as much transparent as I can, just to let you know. So that way, you know, I try to do everything on my action screen right here. So you see everything. So, you know, I'm not hiding anything from you. And yeah, if I have to record it while I'm testing it at the same time, I'll take a little bit of performance hit just to show you how well the system's doing taking that performance hit. Hear what I'm saying. How well the system is doing while I was taking a performance hit. Okay. Now, under load, if you're putting more of a load on the system will outperform and overperform because it's pushing harder. Not a lot of people know that. No, not a lot of people adventure into that, but I hate to tell you that it is what it is. Okay. Now, and like I told you, my testing purposes are, if I have a new system, I'm going to test it right in front of you. Now, I know the last 2 videos that you've seen was the Asus Tough motherboard. That was just to get me into the BIOS. Okay, that was just to take you guys along, you know, to let you know what the go through is to get to the BIOS. And also, too, showing you that you can mix memory, system memory, like I did. I matched it up, 2 different companies, and I put them together. And guess what? Now I got 32 gigs of RAM. Saved myself a couple bucks. You know, see, when I say I saved myself a couple bucks, that means basically if I was, you know, a consumer, hey, he's saving himself a couple bucks. Maybe I can save myself a couple bucks. You get the point? So, yeah, think about it in logic for the consumer. If you're trying to help the consumer, I have to think in that logic of the consumer. I have to think about being in the consumer's shoes, and the subscribers are the consumers, which are you. Okay? Subscribers, consumers, you all are in the same boat. So if I didn't clarify that enough, now I did. So when I say the consumer, which is subscribers, consumers, both, all in one package. So you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, I'm trying to show you how to build a low budget system that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, but will give you good performance. We'll get you up there to play some games. Okay, now I'm not the kind of person that's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to push my system and it's got to go balls to the wall. Okay, you know what? Why'd you buy a computer if you're just going to take and push it, 110, 120, 130% all day and every day? You're just going to burn it up, and then guess what? You're going to say, oh, it's his fault because he told me to do it. You get the point? Then it's called the blame game. You can't blame anybody but yourself because you're sitting there watching this person overclock and saying, oh my God, he's getting all that results and everything else. I want to have my game get me them kind of results all the time. Well, guess what? You push your computer like that all the time, you're going to burn it up faster than to preserve it and keep it going and to where you can play decent games. So, I can overclock any system anytime I want, and it doesn't matter. Okay? But I'd rather conserve my system, and that's the reason why I'm running with an air cooler. I could have gotten myself an AIO water cooler at any time. But I wanted to show you that you can undervolt your processor and still have a good gameplay. That was the whole purpose of that. That's the reason why I'm still on an air cooler. That's the reason why it's still right now with OBS running, I'm only at 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 105 degrees Fahrenheit. And my graphics card is at 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It's only using 3%. And I'm only using 4% of the processor. 3% of the graphics card, 4% of the processor. That's nothing. That's peanuts. Especially when I undervolted the CPU. I undervolted it and I did a PBO curve on it, a negative curve on it. I got two things rolling on this. Plus, I locked the memory to 3200 megahertz, CL16. And the F clock I locked to 1600. That's it. Everything else is on auto. And, I got rebar on. Yes, it's perfect. It's perfect. So I have no problem with my system. None. It runs smooth, no stuttering, no nothing. And all I did was make a couple changes in the BIOS. That was it. Oh, then to let you know about the B550, the Asus Tough motherboard, I updated the BIOS, and I know you guys didn't see that, but I did update the BIOS to the most current BIOS today. And I made one little mistake. See, now I'm admitting my mistakes. Okay, now when I was looking at the motherboard, I was looking at the B550 as the plus, but I accidentally downloaded B550M-Plus-Wi-Fi 2. And the motherboard is B550-Plus-Wi-Fi 2. So the one with the M in there, I downloaded that on accident, and I was in the BIOS and I turned on the BIOS. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I did not cook it because you know what the motherboard said? The BIOS wasn't compatible. So I looked at it and I was wondering to myself, why is it saying it's not working? So I tried to push it through again and it didn't want to go through. So I pushed it through again. It didn't want to go through. So I turned off the motherboard, turned it back on, plugged it back in, did it a fourth time. And it still wasn't going through. And then I had to think of myself, and I'm looking at the screen like this. Look at the screen. Maybe there's something I'm missing. And I'm sitting there searching with my eyes. See, my eyes. And I'm looking to see on the screen, where in the hell is the problem? And sure enough, I looked at the B550 and it said M. And the motherboard that I got is not B550M. It's just B550-plus. So I had kicked myself in the rear, said, holy cow, I cannot believe I did that. So I had to uninstall the BIOS off of the chip, not the chip, the SSD drive, or not, you know, the USB card right here, SD card. Sorry, I couldn't come up with the name, so don't judge me. So, turn around. I uninstalled everything. Downloaded the proper one. And this is a mistake that you can make trying to update your BIOS. So make sure word for word that you get the correct BIOS, because if you don't do it word for word, you could wind up bricking your motherboard. But luckily with ASUS, it clamps down and says, no, you can't put it in. At least I know for a fact in the future, if I make that same mistake again, that motherboard's going to tell me, no, that's not the right BIOS update. So at least I know for a fact that that's going to work correctly. So I was happy that I was able to update the BIOS with no problems. Other than that, me making that simple mistake. See, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Simple said and done. You know, it happens. If it happens all the time, you know, crap can't happen all the time. It can happen once in a while, but not all the time. Just to let you know that. So I figured I'm letting you know what the deal is. Now, when it comes to opinions, okay, on this channel, if I make an opinion of a stat or let's say a product that's just coming out, a leak, okay, it's just a leak. And I'm giving my opinion on a leak. It's not a fact until it rears its little head out in the wild. And, you know, these companies put it right there in the forefront. So until that leak becomes a fact, it's just an opinion at that point. So until that becomes a fact where they put it online to where they're going to push it out to the consumer, it's just an opinion. It's just a leak, an opinion. Something somebody said, it's a leak. You know, they heard it from this person. But it doesn't mean it's the facts. The fact becomes the fact is when the company that's they're going to push it out, is making that fact. Till then, take it as an opinion. Take it as a grain of salt. You know, I mean, a leak could be a leak that comes from their company, that they do that on purpose to give the consumer a heads up of what could be coming out. They could change their mind at any time on those leaks. Those aren't concreted. Understand that. That is not concreted. So here on the channel, if I do an evaluation on a leak or an opinion, it's just my opinion. But if I do factual, like let's say I'm doing it on this keyboard. This keyboard's the Red Dragon. It is an awesome keyboard. It's the model S101-3. Rainbow colored, straight colored, all the colors you want. Different keys to set for the collective of the keyboard to where you can change the colors or you can turn them off. So you can make this stealth as well as making this rainbow color or single color. It's got many different colors. So if you're looking in to get a keyboard, go on and head down to Red Dragon. They get, and you can find them on Amazon. This came from Amazon, by the way. So that's factual. Okay. Now, if I didn't have that here and I've seen the keyboard online, then I would have said, okay, well, I'm going to take you all like this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the action screen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull up DuckDuckGo. And here we go. We're going to pull up Amazon. And we're going to look if I can learn how to spell. If I can learn how to spell. Then we're going to go to Amazon. Then we're going to go over here to the right here where it says all, hit computers and put in keyboards. Okay. And today, this is an opinion. Today we're looking for a keyboard. See this keyboard right here? This will look like a cool keyboard, don't you all think? I think I got one of those keyboards right over there. I think I got one that's similar to it. Okay. Now look, they got this one right here, 104 keys. Rainbow backlit. Almost looks similar to mine, don't you think? Look at the keyboard very closely. And you can go back in the video and, and see, but there's something different right here. It's close, but not no dice. Now, we got this one right here. We got many keyboards, many cheap keyboards, many keyboards. Look at this. Now, if you just want to be really creative, now you could have said to yourself like this. Go RGB. Boom. Okay. Now, let's get into the real deal. Okay, now you want to look at this, $30. Look at this, right here, the S107. Mine's the S103. Look at that. This is the S107. See? Oh, you guys can't see. That is too small for your eyeballs. Oh my God. Let me, there. There. I like this one. I like this mouse right here. And it slides smoothly. My desk is rough as hell. And this thing just slides like a glove. Like a glove. They got the S101. Mouse M601. Let's see. This is S101-3. Okay, my bad. That's S101 right here. But that comes with an M601. Uh, uh, no, actually, it looks like the same mouse. Yeah, it actually does look like the same mouse. It does look like the same mouse. Huh. Oh, it's got something I didn't notice here. It's got an open and it's got a close. What the hell is the open and close? I'll have to figure that out when it's got open and close on here. I'm going to have to figure that out. I ain't never seen that before. So, okay. Let's get down to the brass tacks, people. Look at that. $20 keyboard, $45, $35. Oh, that one I like. That's $36. It's not too bad. Look at the keyboard. Look at the keyboard. Oh, sorry. It would help if I took you guys along with me. Now, wouldn't it? So we went there, here. We looked at this one. Let's see. Let's pull that up right there. Y'all see that? That looks like an awesome, awesome keyboard. Look at that. That is cool as can be. Look at that. Cool as cucumbers. That would make an awesome keyboard for one of y'all if y'all ever look at this. And I meant you all, not y'all, but $36 and $37 for the keyboard. That is not bad. $37 for the keyboard. Mechanical keyboard. I know a lot of people love those keyboards. You know, and look, they got different colors. $49, $36, $49, $36, $49 comes with the mouse, $50 total. 37. Look at that. Look at that. Ice blue. And I know y'all would, and white and ice blue, y'all would kill for that. I know that. Look at that. Look at that. But anyway, it looks like it's an awesome keyboard if you're looking for a keyboard like that. Now, this is not a keyboard review. Okay, this is not a keyboard review. But it's a point. That's a fact. I'm showing you a fact and giving you my opinion to the fact of that keyboard. Okay. So, but it's my opinion. It's either you like it or you don't. I mean, I'm sorry that I don't get all hyped up like everybody else. And there is a reason why. Basically, I have to, let me show you. So that way you understand. See these? I got oxygen tanks over there. See these? I have to use these every day. Every day. So me getting hyped up, I have to use these after every video that I make. So don't think I don't want to get excited, and don't think I'm not excited about doing this. I am. I just have to do it in my own way. And I hope y'all understand that too. So, but that's my 2 cents on the controversy between the YouTube reviewers. That's their drama. I'm going to leave it to them. I'm not going to bring it up on this channel. I give you my 2 cents of what we do here. And that's what matters more than gold. For you to know what we do here. So you get more familiar with the fact of what we do here. Not what other people do on their channels. Whatever everybody else does on their own channels, that's their business. That is their business. That is not my business. So my channel is not related to anybody's channel but my channel. Their channels are related to their channels and how many channels they got. I have one channel right here. I have one YouTube channel. I don't have 500. I got one. Only one right here. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have Flowplane. I don't have, all this 900 yards. I got Twitter. I got YouTube. And I'm working on Facebook, but it's not really convincing me just yet to go full out on Facebook. So I'm building the sources here and there, little at a time. I know it's taken me a year to get this far, but look how many videos I have. And I took my time with my videos. I'm not pumping out 25 videos a day, people. I am trying to pump out only one video a day, every day, for 7 days a week. And that's it. Not 500, one for every 24 hours. Now, comes time down the road, I'm thinking about 1 day off, 6 videos a day, end of story. Just to let you know, I'm not doing 25, 30 to 40. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm just making the videos. I'm trying to get to monetization and working my heart out by myself. Nobody's making my videos. I'm making my videos. I do this every day for you all. And yes, I got my breathing tools too. So, for you all. So, but anyway, I'm glad that y'all stuck around to the end of the video. And I do appreciate you sticking around to the end of every video that I make. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. It happens. I'm glad that everybody stuck around to the end of the video. I do appreciate it a lot. I really do. And I know I don't get hyped up like everybody else, but I can't. Medical reasons, I can't. So I try to do everything as fruitful as possible and as cordial as possible. This is just me. This is all I can do. And I hope you stick with me to the end of all time. I really do. But if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And don't forget, in September the 5th, we will be on YouTube for 1 year. It'll be our first year on YouTube. So hopefully y'all stick around for that. And hopefully nothing will go wrong. I want to do a live video on September the 5th. And when we get closer to the time, I will let you all know at what time I'm going to be doing this. So, just to let you know. So until the next time and the next video. This is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one.